you. I cannot see you though. Have you got your camera turned off?
Oh, yes, I did. Okay, let me see. Sorry, it's my first time to join a lesson. I have no idea how to go through this.
Ah, okay. Do you want your camera on or off? Do you want it off?
Well, off would be great.
Okay, you're like, oh, okay, no problems. That's okay. Just so I want to understand if you know how to use Zoom. That's all.
Okay.
This your first time using Zoom?
Actually, I download it before, but I find it's very difficult and I don't like it.
I hear this a lot. Um, I was using Zoom a lot even before COVID and before everyone was using Zoom, and so I quite like it because I was used to it.
Oh,
Uh,
I see.
but yes, I know for many people they don't like Zoom. But anyway, my name is Garrett. What is your name?
Hi, Garrett. My name is Aisha.
Aisha. Nice to meet you, Aisha. Where are you
Yeah,
from?
nice to meet. I'm from Taiwan.
Ah, what part of Taiwan are you from?
What? Oh, okay, at Taipei City.
Oh, which city? Sorry.
Taipei.
Taipei. Yeah,
Yeah.
the capital. Right. Cool. Ah, very good. Well, nice to meet you, Aisha. So this is your first time, is it?
Yeah,
On
it's my first time.
Ah, very good, very good. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Why have you decided to join Enjoy ABC?
All right. Actually, I just under my quarantine. I just got back to Taiwan 3 days ago. I was based in Hong Kong as a flight attendant,
Okay.
and you know what's going on the
Yeah.
COVID thing. So my company is really is is very stressful, and
Uh,
they offer us unpaid leave. So I applied the unpaid leave for 1 year. That's why I got back to Taiwan. I think it's a great time to practice my English during my quarantine time for 14 days.
yeah. Okay. Oh, so you're in quarantine now, are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, right. So you're in a hotel, are you?
Oh no, I am at home. It's okay to stay at my own house.
Oh, that's good. That's very lucky for you. Um, Here in Australia, if anyone comes from abroad back to Australia, they have to go into a hotel at their own expense and stay there for 14 days as well. But they can't leave the room for 14 days. It's very
Yeah, I heard about this because our my colleagues also they fly to Sydney. They
ah,
stay only for like 24 hours and they cannot just get out of the door. They have to just stay in room until their duty starts.
crazy, right? So strict.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you going to do some other work while you're in Taipei?
Oh, I'm sorry, I have to pick up the phone.
That's okay.
Excuse myself.
That's okay.
Hello? Oh, yes, I'm in the lesson. I'm speaking to the teacher right now. Thank you. So sorry.
That's okay. No problem at all.
Yeah. So what do you say? Sorry.
I asked, since you've gone back to Taiwan for a year of unpaid leave, are you planning to do other work while you're back home?
Oh yes, I do. Uh, I try to take some lessons,
Mhm.
and also I'm looking for other industry work as well.
Okay. Yeah. But you're keen to get back into flight attending again in the future?
Actually, I'm not very positive because I don't think it will be recovered within maybe 2 years. I think more than 2 years.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
on, I think it's better to plan ahead. So I'm pretty welcome to all the opportunities, not only for flight attendants, for aviation industry.
Yeah, it's quite bleak, isn't it? The outlook
Yeah,
for airline companies. I know it's we all want to get back to traveling. I'm dying to travel again, and get out of Australia and get back to traveling. But I'm like you. I can't see things changing too much for a couple of years.
yeah, exactly. May I know which city are you?
Yeah, I live just outside of Brisbane in Australia. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, have you been to Australia before?
Yeah, I've flown there several times.
Ah, okay, cool. What cities have you flown to?
We have Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, Cairns, yeah,
Yeah.
and
What
Perth.
can I ask which airline do you work for?
Oh, Cathay Pacific. Actually, it's a Hong Kong airline.
Yeah, Cathay. Yeah. Awesome. Very good. Yeah, in in Brisbane, if you go an hour's north from Brisbane, it's called the Sunshine Coast. Have you heard of this place?
I'm not very. Is it in downtown?
No. So not in Brisbane city. If you leave the city and drive for about 1.5 hours, you'll come to a coastal area on the beach, and that's where I live.
Oh, I see. No, I've never been there. I always stay in the city.
Yeah, come fly in, stay. Like when you do stopovers
Yeah.
in like Brisbane or Sydney, Melbourne, do you stay like a couple of days or is it normally just like one day?
It really depends. Like for Brisbane, I've no idea, but our company always just let us stay for 24 hours, which is
Yeah,
very tiring. But
yeah.
we have a different route between Cairns and Brisbane. So sometimes we have to start over in Cairns for 3 days,
Oh, nice.
or we start over in Brisbane for 2 days, and we do Brisbane to Cairns and Cairns to Brisbane, like turnaround.
Very good. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be much better if you can stay for a few days and look at the sights, rest a little before you have to fly back.
yeah. I did enjoy Cairns because I did a lot of things in Cairns. I did the skydiving. I
Uh,
did diving, and I do a lot of sightseeing stuff within 3 days. It's really packed, but I really enjoy that.
yeah, I just went skydiving not far from Cairns for the first time last year as well. Um, what did you think of skydiving? Was that your first time?
Yeah. That was my first time.
What-
It's
what-
very scary at first. I think the waiting is really chilling.
yes, it's the worst part. The
It's what's part.
flying, the flying and getting onto the plane, flying, that's the worst part. You're terrified. The skydiving part itself is the best, right?
Yeah, it is. I really enjoyed it. Do you have the video, like video or Photoshop?
I did. I did.
How do you look?
I look like I'm having fun, which is
Uh,
good because I was terrified. So I'm glad I looked like I was having fun.
Because my photos look very ugly.
The wind is like blowing your face back.
Yeah. And I cannot close my mouth, but I saw my friends' photos. They look so beautiful. I have no idea how can they do that. Mine is ugly, awful, and a lot of people tease me like for 1,000 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Weston that's also joined us. Hey, Weston, how are you, mate?
Hello, I'm good.
That's good. Weston, we have a new student that's joined us today. Her name is Ahisha.
Hisha, hello.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Ahisha, Weston lives in Hong Kong, actually.
Oh, hi. I just escaped
Hi.
from Hong Kong.
You need to stay for 3 weeks in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, you stay in Hong Kong for few weeks?
No, I mean government. I know that government needs people to stay 3 weeks for hotel to check if they have coronavirus.
Oh, yeah, I do. Before I was based in Hong Kong, but I just got back to Taiwan 3 days ago. I know exactly what happened in Hong Kong.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. And hang in there in Hong Kong.
Yeah. So what's the in Hong Kong now, Weston, is the situation getting better with COVID? Is it getting better there now? Or is it getting
Yes, it's going better, but every time that the new waves is because the government let the situation to be better, then a lot of people that with coronavirus will come to Hong Kong easily, then easily to spread to the whole Hong Kong.
Yeah. What was
So the government think uh the they should still keep it to be serious.
Yeah, it's a serious. Ahisha, what was your experience when you were in Hong Kong? How did you see the COVID affecting society there?
I would say that Hong Kong government is very rich. They really they really spend a lot of money on for protection. I would say Hong Kong government they try to do a good job.
Yeah.
But they it's pretty well. Like only one hand, they very strict on foreigners like us. When we arrive Hong Kong, we have to do a lot of tasks. We have to do a task. We have to do quarantine for 14 days. But on the other hand, they allow Chinese people or the resident, the Hong Kong resident from China. They allow us to enter Hong Kong without any test or the quarantine. So I have no idea why they do that.
So they allow, I guess, just thinking out loud, because Hong Kong is a territory of China. So would that be classed as domestic travel for them, where you don't have to quarantine, whereas we're coming from as international travelers? So I guess that's why we would have to quarantine, right?
I think because like China government is their boss.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Technically, I know Hong Kong operates as separate from China, but they are under one Chinese banner, I guess. So it would be classed as domestic travel. A little bit different to Taiwan. Taiwan definitely sees themselves more separate from China. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. And we've had Grace join us. Hey, Grace.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. So Grace, we have Weston with us and also a new student, Ahisha.
Hi, Lahisha.
Hi, Grace.
Grace, Ahisha is also from Taipei.
Oh, because you are talking about Hong Kong.
Yes. Well, Ahisha, introduce yourself to Grace for me, please. Can you tell her a little bit about yourself, just like what you told me?
Oh, yeah, sure. So, hi, Grace. My name is Aisha. I am a flight attendant and based in Hong Kong. So, I just got back to Taiwan 3 days ago. So, right now, I am under quarantine in Taipei.
Oh, you are the high-risk group now.
Not really. I got the dose for sick. I got a vaccine for 2 doses. So,
Oh, really?
I think, I think I'm pretty clear, and I got my negative test just 3 days ago.
Good for you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So Ahisha, you've had your vaccine.
Yes, I did.
With the vaccine that you got, do you have to get it twice or just once?
Twice. What I got is called BioNTech, which is a German company, and it requires 2 doses.
2 doses, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But so you haven't had your second yet?
I did. I completed my doses.
Oh, so you're good. Good to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent. Very good.
But I had an allergy.
Oh, did you? What was the reaction?
Yeah. I feel very itchy on my skin. I'm not very sure it's 100% of the vaccine, but I never feel like this before. After I get the second vaccine, after for 10 days.
Yeah, I've heard that is a side effect. You can get some irritation in the skin where it's itchy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Has anyone else had the vaccine yet, Grace or Weston?
No, I don't.
I'm not yet.
No. Neither have I. It hasn't been something that I've got yet either. So that's good that you've got it, especially in the travel industry. I think it's obviously very important that you got it, Ahisha.
Yeah.
Very good. Grace, your camera stopped working. Have we lost you? Are you still with us?
No, I'm doing something else, so I just close the screen.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to just assume that you're listening. If you have anything to say, just speak up, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, guys, today's topic, and he's just to give you a bit of a background with Enjoy ABC. Each of these lessons cover different topics, and they're very much based on just conversation and watching a video and then discussing it. So, this evening's topic is on food. Okay, so we talk about what you do for food, and we'll talk about different aspects of eating out or cultures or traditions around food. And this evening's video that we're going to watch is on bubble tea, which I'm sure for Grace and Ahisha is something you enjoy since it comes from your country, bubble tea.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. That would be my first thing to enjoy when I get off.
Yeah, I have quite a few Taiwanese students, and whenever they go back to Taiwan, if they're not living there, they say the same thing. First thing they do when they land in Taiwan is have bubble tea, a good bubble tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have bubble tea in Australia?
Yes, we do, but only in like the Asian districts. Like for example,
Oh,
in Brisbane, where it's close to where I live. There's a suburb that's called Sunnybank, and it's all Asian people live there, Chinese predominantly, and they have lots of great Asian restaurants, and there's lots of bubble tea stalls through there. So
Is it expensive?
compared to Taiwan, I'm sure it is. You go, it's probably like $5-6 for one.
Wow. Okay.
That's expensive?
It's a luxury drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but like it's relative. That's what you pay for drinks in Australia now. It's so expensive here. Like, how much would you pay for bubble tea in Taiwan?
It depends on the quality.
Exactly.
Okay. Give me what's a cheap one? What's an expensive one? What's the range?
The cheapest one I think is around $1.
Okay.
And I had the very expensive one around $2.
Okay, so not a big range. About $2 is like for a good quality.
Two or three. But for Taiwanese people, we will think, okay, like $3, you can buy a lunchbox.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. So paying that much for a drink is excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Grace, do you enjoy bubble tea?
Oh yeah. When I was young, yes, a lot. I drink like 3 cups a day.
Really? That's awesome. Weston, do you like it? Are you a bubble tea drinker?
Yes, I like it. Although it contains much sugar.
Yes.
Or you can ask them to put less sugar. Right now,
like,
I even have them to do like no sugar.
Like half sugar, little sugar. Yeah, I've tried it before.
Does it taste any good though without any sugar?
Yes, it still tastes good.
You can taste the tea and the milk and also the bubble in the bubble tea.
Yeah, but you have to have the bubbles, right? It's not bubble tea if it doesn't have the bubbles in it.
And the bubbles already contain a little bit of sugar.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So you can't eliminate sugar. You still have to have a bit. Yeah.
I like the ingredients cannot. The sugar in the ingredients cannot be removed.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I'm going to play a video now, which is based on the history of bubble tea. So it might be obvious, I think, something that some of you may already know, but we're going to watch the video. It's about a 4-minute video, and then we're going to do some discussion afterwards, okay? So just
Okay.
bear with me while I share my screen. we go.
Popularity in the United States in the late 2000s. Bubble tea enjoyed brief popularity in the United States in the late 2000s, but made a comeback in 2016. Recognizable to many people by the tapioca balls at the bottom and the wide straws that allow you to sip them along with your tea, you probably know bubble tea when you see it. But how much do you really know about this odd and exhilarating beverage? These facts about bubble tea's history, ingredients, and health risks might surprise you. A happy accident. Bubble tea is a Taiwanese tea-based drink invented in Taichung in the 1980s. So the story goes, Lin Xiu Hui got bored during a meeting and poured her tapioca dessert into her tea, and it turned out delicious. Nothing might have come of it if Lin Xiu Hui wasn't already the product development manager for Changshu Tang Tea House, but she was, and that's what kicked off this trend. Even though Lin Xiu Hui first created bubble tea by adding tapioca balls into her tea, the bubble in bubble tea actually refers to the oxygen pockets formed by shaking the tea. It's likely that these same bubbles formed when she first poured her tapioca dessert into her tea during that fateful, boring meeting when she invented the stuff. This is also why you can get bubble tea without any tapioca. Milk tea, pearl tea, tapioca tea, boba tea, and foam milk tea are a few of the variations available to suit your taste palette. Evolution of tapioca size. The size of the tapioca in bubble tea can also vary. This explains a few of the different names for the tea. Pearl tea refers to the original bubble tea with smaller tapioca pearls. Boba tea, on the other hand, refers to the bubble tea with larger pearls. Because the small pearls are typically used in desserts like the one Lin Xiu Hui poured in her tea in the 1980s, we might say that small pearls are the traditional style for bubble tea, though now almost all shops use the larger boba. If you want something chewy in your bubble tea but don't like tapioca, that's also not a problem. Other options for the balls include grass, konjac, or coconut jellies. You can also get popping boba, which is made from a seaweed extract with fruit juice flavoring inside that pops open once you bite into it. Some shops even offer puddings or beans as a tapioca alternative. Meanwhile, you may have mostly had bubble tea in its cold form, but drinkers aren't limited to what has become known as the traditional style. If you're craving bubble tea in the freezing winter, you can find it available in hot varieties to help you warm up. If you like it cold, but you're looking for something a little thicker, it's also available as a smoothie. Another option for customizing it is by choosing the type of tea. Some shops offer lots of options, including green, black, oolong, and sometimes even Thai and chai tea. Pick your favorite variety and go from there. Now, let's talk about the bad news. The waistline factor. Because the boba are most often made with tapioca starch, bubble tea isn't exactly low calorie. While tapioca boba are fat-free, bubble tea is loaded with empty calories and, depending on the milk used, potentially also fattening. Not only that, but some drinks add in flavored syrups, which means the carb count factor can be very high. According to a 2016 study, the high caloric and sugar content of boba beverages poses public health concerns as they have the potential to further exacerbate the childhood obesity epidemic, so enjoy the stuff in moderation. There's also evidence that consumption of bubble tea and other sugary beverages has been linked to the development of ADHD in children. Yikes! A bigger concern? In May 2011, a food scandal broke out in Taiwan where the palm oil in some drinks and syrups, including some that may have been exported and used in bubble tea shops around the world, was replaced with dethylexylfolate. This is a chemical often used in plastics to make them pliable and is considered a potential carcinogen in humans by researchers. However, the true effect of small doses of DEHP in humans, such as what would be obtained through the casual drinking of bubble tea, still needs further testing. Another report said that samples of bubble tea contained other carcinogenic chemicals. That same year, however, Taiwan's Food and Drug Administration confirmed that a second round of tests conducted by German authorities found no cancer-causing chemicals in bubble tea. Whether this means that the original samples were tainted in some way or that the levels of chemicals vary from sample to sample isn't clear, but there's been no further indication that bubble tea leads to cancer. Even so, the risk-averse might take the better safe than sorry approach than indulge in this bubbly beverage.
So it's a tapioca starch, they pearlize it, and that's why they get the big straws. You can actually suck up some of the tapioca pearl. No?
To bubble or not to bubble? Although it may not be a health food, bubble tea hasn't been definitively proven as particularly dangerous, unless you have an allergy to one of its ingredients. As an occasional treat when you're thirsty and want something sweet and chewy all at the same time, bubble tea is no worse for you than lots of other desserts. And that's how it should be seen, as a dessert. Just remember your options for customizing your bubble tea and the potential risk of having it too often. After all, you wouldn't drink a milkshake every day, would you? You might gain weight, feel sick, or just end up like this guy.
I drink your milkshake!
Thanks for watching. Click the list icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.
All right. So, Grace and Ahisha. Did you know this? Did you know this history about bubble tea?
Yeah, I did know where and when it's come from.
Yeah, yeah. Grace, did you know about it?
Actually, I just learned from the Google that the inventor is, they are still like arguing which one is the first one, but I think it's very important.
Yeah, and it's interesting in English, they use the line, so the story goes. So that when the line says, so the story goes, what do you think they mean by that line, that phrase? Or so the story goes. What do they mean by that, you think?
So the story goes.
Yeah, why do they throw that line out?
It's like to tell you a truth, or to tell you things what happened in the beginning. Is that right?
Close. Is anyone else? Ahisha, what do you think that phrase means? They say, so the story goes.
I think similar like Grace said, like, oh, I tell you something and how it starts and how the story, like, yeah, how the story goes.
It's close. It's close. When someone says, well, so the story goes, they mean that this is a theory. This is one story. They're not necessarily saying this is fact. This is true. They're saying, oh, so the story goes. Some people think this is what happened. When they throw that phrase out, so the story goes, it means, well, some people think this, but not everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like what you said, Grace, you've gone on to Google and then other people said, no, I invented it. No, I invented it. And there's an argument about who invented bubble tea. This is one theory or one story about it. Yeah. So, Weston, I'm sorry that video, she spoke so fast. Sorry to everyone. That video was so fast. I should have slowed it down. She would speak fast. So it was, even I had trouble understanding everything she was saying. But Weston, how did according to this story, did you see how did bubble tea start? Did you see?
That in a meeting, the person who takes something with the tea, then found delicious.
Yeah. Can you read this sentence here for me, please, Weston? Is Weston with us? I think we might have lost Weston.
I think Weston is freeze.
Yeah.
You're back. Okay, can you try and read that sentence for me, please, Weston?
Lin Xiu Y at the H. Lin Xiu Hui got bored during a meeting and poured her tapioca dessert into her tea, and it turned out delicious.
So now, open to Ahisha or Grace. Can you tell me what is tapioca exactly?
Tapioca is a stock of made by like potato or something, by the vegetable. So it's similar to flour but different from flour.
Right. See, when I had the tapioca in a bubble tea, it tastes like jelly.
Yeah.
It can
it's different.
Right.
And it's very simple to make this tapioca. You just throw the water, drop the water on the stock, and then you just like the powder, they will go around and become a circle, and that is the tapioca.
So is it popular, like, do people make tapioca themselves at home, make their own bubble tea? Is that a common?
Well, now people is lazy, so they don't do that. But before in the old age, yes, people can do that at home.
Really?
Yeah,
So,
they do it when they want to use it because it's fresh. If you like put the tapioca in another day, it won't be good. It won't have the chewies.
so tapioca generally only lasts one day after you make it.
Yeah, the another day won't be so good as the first day.
Mm.
Right. Okay, interesting. And so yeah, okay. So with the tapioca, it's derived from vegetables. It's from potato. Am I right?
Yeah. Potato stock.
Interesting. What makes it so sweet? Are they from the potato stock? But
When they cook the tapioca, they adding the sugar.
they add
Brown
sugar.
sugar. Yeah, brown sugars.
Okay, brown sugar with it. Okay, interesting. Very good. So, just some questions from the video to see if you guys picked up. I'm sharing some of the script from the video. What were some of the concerns that they had about bubble tea? Maybe Ahisha, you want to answer first. What were the concerns?
Because people abuse. Sorry.
Yeah, obesity. The problem of obesity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not healthy.
Why? In what way?
Too sweet, too high calorie.
Yeah.
Why? What have they done to it? Because I would imagine bubble tea in its original form it was probably not as high in calorie as it is today. Would I be right in saying that? Is it getting are there more additives and more sweetness to it these days than before?
Well, if you adding the different flavor and you want to make it more delicious, you need more extra sugar and the other ingredient. I don't know what is the ingredient.
Yeah. Okay. What was the study, the 2016 study? What did it outline? Can anyone outline that for me?
16. According to a 2016 study, the high caloric and sugar content of bubble beverages pose public health concern as they have the potential to further exacerbate the childhood obesity epidemic. So enjoy this stuff in moderation.
All right, cool, excellent. Thank you for reading that, Grace. That was really well done. A couple of words I want to highlight from this study. What does the word exacerbate mean? Does anyone know this word, exacerbate?
Make faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Good explanation there. That's exactly, make it worse. Make a situation worse. Yeah, and that's generally how it's explained. Okay, so what is the problem? It was childhood obesity. Weston, what does obesity mean?
Over than fat, really fat.
Yeah, exactly. So when you gain weight and when you go into an unhealthy.
If you gain weight, then you go fat. If you gain really much weight, then you will become obesity.
Yeah, obese. So when you are, obesity is the noun. When you are obese, that's the adjective. Yeah, describing yourself, obese is the adjective. Yeah, obesity is the noun.
So obesity is equal to fat?
Fat is very general, Grace.
Oh, okay.
And in this world, when we have to be careful with our speech, we tend not to use that word too often in English these days. Like amongst friends, we can say, yeah, you're fat or something, but it's not nice. We wouldn't say that. The word that's more...
You will say you are wrong.
You're round.
Or what can you describe if you think your friend is fat?
Maybe don't say anything about their weight.
Okay.
Maybe it's the safe way, Grace. But yeah, when talking to someone who's overweight, so we have categories. When someone is healthy, they're overweight, or they're obese. Obese is when you're quite large and you're in an unhealthy health category. When your weight is so large, you're over the healthy range and they call you obese. Yeah, so they're talking about it in childhood. It's a big problem in childhood now because children have so much access to sugary drinks. They're gaining weight. Do you notice there's a problem in Taiwan or in Hong Kong? Has anyone seen this as an issue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a common issue, I think.
Yeah. In what
They
way?
eat too much fried chicken. Burger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. There's too many unhealthy options available and it's easier and cheaper. So, yeah. Now, they said this has also has been linked to the development in something else. Ahisha, can you, since we're all reading a sentence here, can you read sentence 32 for us, this one here?
Okay. There's also evidence that consumption of bubble tea and other sugary beverages has been linked to the development of ADHD in children.
ADHD.
ADHD. Does anyone know what this acronym stands for? AD. It stands. Let's do a little.
ADHD, kind of heard before.
Yeah. Let's hope it come up for the.
Like
here we
you will move, you will constantly want to move.
Yeah, that's one of the symptoms, Weston. It's called attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Oh,
I have a little bit.
You've got that a little bit, Weston? Yeah, it's common. I had friends too that also had this as well. So they think there's a link. And I know you don't drink too many sugary drinks. I know your family's quite careful, Weston, but the studies think now there's a link between these types of drinks and children developing this type of disorder. Yeah. So what do you think that means? Maybe Grace, what do you think attention deficit hyperactivity disorder means?
I think the children have a difficulty to pay attention on one thing because they easily to distracted by others, right?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. That's the attention deficit. That's what that means. Attention deficit. They don't have a large attention span. Get distracted easily. What do you think this word hyperactivity? Maybe Ahisha, what do you think hyperactivity means?
They cannot control their behavior. Very active.
Yeah, very active. Yeah. We use there's a slang word. They've gone hypo, like the kids if they've drunken some red cordial or some soft drink, or we call in Australia we say soft drink. In America they say soda, so you might know it as soda.
Yeah.
They drink this, they say hypo, and they're just crazy. Yeah, so it's part of the ADHD disorder is if they commonly display this behavior. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions regarding any of those words or anything that we've discussed so far? Is everyone keeping up? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right. No worries. Okay, let's look at one of the controversies. And maybe you've heard about this that happened in 2011. Maybe Weston, can you read number 34 for us, please?
Okay. In May 2011, a food scandal broke out in Taiwan where the palm oil in some drinks and syrups, including some that may have been exported and used in bubble tea shops around the world, was replaced with diphthiophthalatic.
Yeah, good job, Weston. I am so impressed you had attempted that word. It's a very tricky word. Diethyl phthalate.
It's probably not English word.
It is an English word. It's just a very difficult word to pronounce. So don't worry too much about it. But what was, okay, first of all, we're looking at a scandal here. Grace, what is a scandal?
It's the bad news. It's not a, how to say, it's the story by cover for a bad behavior or something else. We call it scandal.
Yeah, that's one way. Can anyone else add to that? How would Hisha, how would you describe a scandal?
Yeah, bad thing happens, and because someone want to cover it, because they knew it's something, they caused something bad, but they try to cover what's going on. Yeah.
That's often, yeah, scandal is often someone tries to cover something bad and it becomes big news. Scandal is something, oh, have you heard about that? Something that's happened. That's, yeah, definitely a scandal. So, Hisha, what was the scandal in 2011 May? What was it?
So it broke out in Taiwan, where the palm oil in some drinks and syrups, including some that may have been exported and used in bubble tea shops.
Yeah. So, what was the problem with this chemical that was replacing the palm oil? What did the study or the research find out about this chemical? What was the problem with it?
It's kind of a chemical things. So it's usually to use in plastic.
In coffee?
Yeah, in plastic.
Oh, in plastics. Right. In plastics, yes. Yeah, exactly. And it said it is considered a potential carcinogen in humans by researchers. Does anyone know what this means? When we say that something has a carcinogen in it. Has anyone heard this word before?
Carcinogen.
Carcinogen. I'm going to bring up Google Translate actually, just so we got that. Carcinogen, yeah. Or is a food is carcinogenic as the adjective, carcinogenic. Let's put it in here. Ziawu. I'm saying that right.
致染物
Ziawu. What does this mean?
The thing that with some chemical that may let you have disease of the cancer.
Exactly. Yeah. So something a chemical that possibly causes cancer. Yeah. So we say this has a carcinogen in it. So if a food has a carcinogen, then it has something that possibly will bring on cancer. That's the word we use. That's what they found, was the scandal. Grace or Hisha, did you, like in 2011, do you remember hearing about this at all? Can you tell us a bit about that when it broke? Do you remember this at all?
Yes, I do remember. I do think so. They still use this kind of stuff in bubble milk tea.
They still use it, do they?
I believe some shops, because some of their drinks are very cheap. So I do believe that. And I heard some surveys say a lot of Taiwanese guys, they have very bad quality of the sperm because they drink too much bubble milk tea.
Yeah, I think this is a huge problem. Not only just in bubble tea, but a lot of the preservatives in food today affecting sperm, definitely. And fertility rates are dropping because of, the chemicals that are used in food, right? So I think that's a big issue that's happening.
Well, actually, the bubble tea, the beginning they use the creamer, not the real milk. The creamer for the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, the creamer they say is more delicious than the real milk, but the creamer is made by the. It's not a natural food, so they think it's not healthy, so they change it to the real milk.
Okay, so it's
But
been the evolution of.
I think it all depends on how many how much you drink on this kind of drink. If you just like once a while have a cup of it, it's okay.
What's the word for that, Grace? Rather than saying once in a while, there's a word. You should drink in what? What's the word?
Once a while. I don't know.
Anyone else think of a word that we use?
Um,
Anyone else can think? There was actually in this video they used the word at the end of sentence 31.
is in the end of sentence.
31.
Oh.
Oh, moderation.
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 Moderation. Yeah, moderation. I'll add that to our list in here, boys. Here.
Moderation.
Moderation. Should do. Should do.
Mm,
So is that translation correct? Would you explain that? Is that should do?
yeah, just
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I think anything in moderation is okay. Like even with carcinogens, they find chemicals that can potentially cause cancer. It's generally in large amounts. So if we excessively drinking these, obviously it creates a problem. Yeah. So in 2000, I'm interested a little more in this scandal. When it broke, was it big news in Taiwan? Was it like a scandal, like a big news, and all the news outlets were reporting on it?
yeah, it's quite big.
Yeah. Okay. So did the government make any changes to stop this?
Actually, they are still. I think the case just closed a few years ago because they fight this for almost 10 years.
Really?
Yes, for the oil part.
So it's going through the courts still.
Yes, they take like 10 years to make this. They want to argue, say they don't do anything wrong with it, but actually they did.
So it hasn't been proven. It was
Yeah.
proven that they did add this chemical. Interesting. Yeah. So after this video, what's everyone's opinion on bubble tea? Are we still going to drink it regularly, or has everyone's opinion stayed the same or changed?
Or if you know the store you buy from and the ingredient they use are healthy, it's okay to drink it once a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's tasty though.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
still like it a lot.
How about you, Ahisha? What's your thoughts on it?
Because I already know what happened before, but I'm not a person who drink it every day. So I will still drink it and choose the store I believe.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Good quality. How about you, Weston? Still going to drink bubble tea? Is it good is it Hong Kong? Is Hong Kong bubble tea good?
Yeah, still delicious and still with a lot of sugar.
You can ask them to put less sugar though.
Yeah, so every time we'll call it order bubble tea, I'll order with little sugar, like for like 25%.
Good for
Excellent.
you.
Excellent. Very good. Well, it says, like as it says in the video, it says we should see it as a dessert, not as a drink. So dessert, I don't know about you, but I don't have dessert every day. It's one of those things I have every now and then as a treat, as a dessert. So
Me too. Because too many sugar, no matter what, is not good for your health.
exactly. And I'm a Westerner. I think Westerners, we look at food, we get fat. It's so easy for us to get fat. So we have to be
Just breathe, you get fat.
Yeah, exactly. I think about food and I feel fat. So yeah, it's not something I could drink much, but I love it. When I lived in Cambodia, I was living there for a few years. The bubble tea there was great. I loved. Yeah, but it's not healthy.
I hope you know how they make it.
Yeah.
Probably full of carcinogens. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming. That's our time up. Feel free to jump on to the next lesson that's starting now. But if not, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I have a travel class tomorrow evening. Or if not, I might see you next week. Thanks all for joining.
Goodbye.
Guys, see you later.
See ya.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Winston.
Bye.